not only mean ile inatoa moshi iko huko juu, that is what we know as industry. Hapana. Ata jua kali. You know, at jua kali, this is where they do the actuals. This is where they do the actual things. So we are telling Kenyans that we are able to work even with the jua kali sector, which we have already formed MOUs with, and we are able to send our young people to work with the jua kali. Remember, at the jua kali is where even most of our vehicles, a lot of times, are repaired. Yes, true. Isn't it? Yes. So we are able to work with even these jua kali artisans, because all we are interested in achieving is that practical work that is being done in whichever space that you call industry. Right. That is what we are calling dual training. Right. So as much as the TVET sector and your department is partnering with different institutions and industries really for this clarion call for the dual policy, now how about for high schools, for example? When you look at this 716,000 plus students, and even now those ones who are going to be sitting for the examinations even for this year, where do high schools come into play, and different institutions for education institutions really? The high schools, we are going there. We know that as we do the reforms in TVET, we are looking into working also with the high schoolers, because Stan, the messaging in high school is that you are going to school to go to university. That is the messaging that has existed there. Yeah. And remember, here before, we had these institutions, the technical training institutions. Actually, some high schools were technical secondary schools or high schools. But all this changed when we changed even most of the technical institutions into universities. Muranga, for example, Kirinyaga TTI were all changed to universities. Now, so that the messaging has been, you are learning to go to universities. But unfortunately, it is not all of us who are able to get to that space. So we are taking a step back, and I already held this conversation with my colleague, PS Bellio, PS Dr. Bellio. Yeah. And what we have agreed is that we are writing a memo to high schools, so that as they speak to these young people, let them be able to, let the messaging be that you either proceed to the university or to other pathways. The biggest of these pathways, other than the university, is the TVETs. Right. Because like I've already told you, Stan, we have a TVET available in this country in every constituency. We have a few constituencies that we are, well, about 50 of them, that we are yet to construct the TVET institutions. Yeah. But in many of them in this country, we already have a TVET. Okay. And we already have up to 24 national polytechnics. So the access, the government has been able to do the opening up of the space for access very, very well. So we are telling the high school principals, please let the messaging be that yes, you are learning to go to the university, but there are other many pathways. There are KMTCs, there are TVETs in these countries that are going to prepare you well for the world of work. So that is the one step back that we are taking into high schools and telling them this is the messaging they do. Again, remember, Stan, that we have now changed the curricula to CBC, competency-based curriculum. So by the time these young people are coming to our space, they're getting out of high school, they already have skilled pathways that they want to follow.